Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today what we're going to be doing is a stationery haul. Now there's going to be a pretty big stationery haul and that's because I had something a little bit sad happen to me today, and some of these things were not necessary to buy, but I'm going to get into the stationery haul in a moment. What I'm going to show you is what I had intended to originally do for this video, should have been out a couple days ago, was I am downsizing from Chic Sparrow wide, that kind of holds the moleskin Kahir size. It's a standard moleskin type of journal cover, and I have been gradually over the past several months been trying to downsize from an A5 into something smaller. And I went in July, for One Book July, I went into a moleskin Kahir, and I really love that. And I had some pages left in August, so I just went with it and I used it another month. But now this month, I was going to be moving into my B6. I had bought an Archer and Olive B6 journal some time ago, and I had been wanting to try to downsize into that. And I had bought also in June, before, about around the same time, I bought this Chic Sparrow Hemingway in Oak Park color, that this is a B6. And you can see it fits quite nicely. I have a dashboard and I have my B6, and I got this the other day when this is part of my stationery haul. So, but I'm not going to be showing that. I was going to show you my setup. I was setting up my new journal. I was hoping maybe it will last me at least 2, maybe 3 months. I don't know, because I am not familiar with using this size, and I am a bit of a prolific writer, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm not going to do that now. I'll make another video later about my setup. But here's what happened is on Thursday I planned to finish up my setup, and I wasn't quite done yet. I had started and I wasn't done yet, and I thought, let me grab all of my favorite stationery supplies, because I stay in Manhattan. My apartment is in Manhattan, but on the weekends I stay out in Long Island. And on Thursday night after work, I work in Brooklyn. So after that, I was planning to go on the train and to come out to Long Island. But on Thursday morning, I packed all of my favorite things, and I managed to leave them on the subway platform. So I did realize it somewhat quickly, and I turned back around and I called my boss and said I'd be an hour late, and I went back to hoping it would still be on the platform, but it was not, and it had not been turned in upstairs to the 24-hour booth at my station. I'll submit a ticket to the MTA, the Mass Transit Authority in New York City, and their lost and found is in Penn Station, and I'll go there sometime this week and see if maybe I get lucky, but I'm not really expecting to. So what I did was, after work Thursday, I went and I started doing my stationery haul to recover some of the things that what I have lost, to try to replace them. So this is what we're going to do. I went to Kinokuniya. It's a Japanese stationery and bookstore that's it's around 42nd Street on 6th Avenue. And when I went there, I managed to find this pencil case, and where's my other one? And I knew they carried blue. These are by Blue Cube. And what's kind of sad is, so these are pencil cases that my partner bought for me at Timbuktu in Woodstock for my birthday, just in the middle of August. So those were gone. So I was pretty sad about that, but I feel really lucky because I found this one, and I didn't expect for them to have this one. I've seen this one before. So they had both of my pencil cases, so I got those. Also, when I was for my birthday, when we were in Woodstock, I had gotten some Jelly Roll pens. So I'm gonna put these aside. So I did manage to get Jelly Roll pens. Oh, so I got these two cases, these two, and I just took these out from there. And I had to go to Target to get this one because this is I have had this for a while, at least a year and a half or so, I guess. I've had it for a long time. And so these, oh, here we go. These were the 3 colors, but they're not in 10. Oh, this one is a 10. These don't say the size, so I don't know what they are, but these were 3 opaques that I had gotten when I was in Woodstock. So I was pretty happy about that. And then just because I was feeling a little bit down and doing a little shopping therapy, I picked up some extra jelly rolls that I liked. So I got all of these jelly rolls, and I'm not going to swatch them for you now because it would just get too long in the video. I just kind of want to do a little bit of a haul to show you. So these are some of the it was just like crazy to me, the irony that how I put all of my favorite things inside there. So one of my favorite pencils, I always carry this Blackwing. I have a Blackwing pencil. So I got that at Kinokuniya, and here's another Blackwing pencil that I got from them. And I usually have one mechanical style, you know, that you just can click it down and refill that. So this was, and I had a Bic, you know, this is from a Papermate. So I usually have one, you know, it's just cheap, just because for sketching and doodling. The thing I was really sad about is with this jelly rolls is I had a white 10 jelly roll. I had in the past this Signos, and the white 10 was fantastic. It was so much, I loved it more than the Signo, way more than the Signo. My Signo sometimes streaks, you know, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but I like the Jelly Roll 10 in the white even better. So I have not been able to find that, but I do have this for now. And I also got one in silver because I had put my silver, I think I put my silver, my gold jelly roll, and maybe maybe my silver or Signo in here as well. So that probably was lost. Then I also got all of these Le Pens. This type of blue that's kind of close to a robin's egg blue is the pen I use the most because that's my color for the year. I almost always carry a gray Le Pen, and I know I had this, it's kind of like a teal, dark teal, I don't know what this color, what do they call it? Oh, they call it Oriental teal. So I had one of those as well. I knew that for a fact. So those were gone. And then these were just 2 extras that were cute, a pastel peach and a blue that I just thought I would get. So I have all of those. Then the other thing, so there's all these pens. Then there were my microns. I do love my microns because they work with the Tombos and with Le Pens, which you know, are water activated. The microns are not. So usually if I'll sketch something with a pencil, I'll go afterwards with my micron and then know I can fill in with color. And if I don't have a watercolor palette with me, I often will use these Le Pens, or I'll use the Tombos as a little bit of something where I can move a little color with water around. Oh, I don't have my water brush. That's something I need to replace, but I may have extras. I'll look first. So what I did is I picked up a whole bunch of microns at a little shop in Park Slope in Brooklyn. I used to live in that area. I don't live there now. I used to live in Park Slope for about 3 years. And there was a little stationery shop on 7th Avenue, just 7th Avenue and 9th Street if you live in New York or if you come into the area. There's just a little tiny shop, and they have a lot of pens. I should have taken a picture of it. Maybe I'll do a little Instagram of it one day. But anyway, so I picked up, I love to use the 005. It's super extra fine. It's so tiny. I mean, I can't even show you with the video how tiny this is. And then I also picked up, you know, a 1, a 02, 03, and a 05. Pretty sure, let me see. Yep, that's exactly what I got in there. I probably have a 1 or a 2 and a 3 at home, but these are all black. I use a lot of the black pen. And then these are just different Tombow dual brushes. I have a lot of off-whites that I often will like to use, the grays, and then these other off-white type, really light pale colors that I'll use this blue, and that I know I can layer it and make it darker by just going over it once or twice. So that and this pouch. Now the thing is, the things that were inside the pouches on the sides, what do I have? Oh, I had to get a new eraser. I got a new eraser. There we go. Is there anything else? No, that's it. So in my other, the one that I lost, I always used to keep a lot of papers in here that I would use for when I was doing decorating pages. I'd have a lot of things that I could either glue in, or sometimes I'd have little washi tapes. And then in here, in this pocket, is the saddest of all. It's something that I cannot replace. And that was, there was a couple of things. I mean, I might be able to replace those, but I had a little sketchbook that I used and to sketch in, and I used it when I was in France, and last time I used it was when I was up in Woodstock for my birthday, so I can't really replace that. Those are my pictures, my things that I had drawn like when I was going around in Paris. Luckily, I had more than one sketchbook. I also have these little, I got this, I'll show you those in a minute. Luckily, I had more than one sketchbook. Surprise! Can you believe that? I have more than one sketchbook, and so luckily in the journal that I was using at that time, I have other things that I've sketched, and coincidentally, thank goodness, so it wasn't in the side pocket there, which is where it was for a long time. I had misplaced it. This was a little sketch I did of Notre Dame. This was actually one I did before I went to Paris, because I was practicing my sketching. I was like, oh, when I go to Notre Dame, I don't want to be there like an hour trying to do this sketch. Let me get an idea of what the structure is like, so that once I see it in person, I'll already have kind of an idea of what, how the ratios and stuff are. And luckily I took pictures of my sketch in front of the building. I have multiple photos of that. As a matter of fact, it's actually a photo of me holding my sketchbook in front of it is in the journal I was using at that time. So, you know, luckily I at least have some documentation of that. And there's other ones that were actual sketches where I had torn out, not from that little sketchbook, from one of my others, and put into my journal as well. So I still have original sketches from that visit. So these are all things, all those jelly rolls, I didn't have all of those jelly rolls, but those 3 that I showed you were being replaced. So what else did I have to replace? Here, there's other things that I've gotten. Oh, well, yeah, here's my microns. I know that I had a PN. I just got this today at Michael's. They're having a sale. You could get 50% off an item and an additional 20% if it's original price, and then an additional 20% off of all items, including sale items. So I picked up some micron pens, and I'll put one of those in there. And I know I had some washi tapes with me that day, and I know I had at least 2 washi tapes, and I'm pretty sure I had at least 1 ink pad, but I'm gonna guess it was a blue, but not this one. But this is my favorite, because again, this is like my color for the year, how I have a word for the year and I have a color for the year. So that one little pen that I was saying is one of my colors for the year. This is right in there, and so I like to use this a lot. And I have one here, and or is it that I have, maybe this is actually the one from my apartment that's lost, so now I replaced it, because I probably have had one at each location. And then they had, oh, did I get two? Oh, something is not right. Okay, so, oh, yeah, this is for my apartment. Okay, so then while they had a sale going on, it was like if you bought two, you got a third one for free. So I really, really like these stamps. I use them to antique my pages. I'll use this and I'll antique around the edges, or I'll use it with, I ended up buying these. These are Stationery haul as well. These are, I like Tim Holtz, his style. So these are all Tim Holtz products. So this, sometimes I peel it off and I put it onto the paper, and then I will stamp through it. And I love the time clock. And then these are new. This is on clearance. So I picked this up. It's on clearance, and plus I got 20% off the clearance price. So I got these feathers, and I got all of these lovely colors. I got these 6 colors. What is this? This is faded jeans, fossilized amber, vintage photo. I love that one. I have this one in a little small. It's like 1/4 of the size of this. I have wilted violet. This broken china is also one of my favorites, and peeled paint. So I kind of like these kind of distressed colored looking inks, and I like to use stamps quite a bit, and I like to use these types of things to press through, so we'll see how that works out. So I know I lost a couple, but I don't remember exactly what. I didn't have any of these on me. They were on clearance, and so I picked those up. So while I was at Kinokuniya, see, here we go, Kinokuniya. Here it is, Kinokuniya. That's the name of the store. This is actually an unboxing. I picked up these 2 things there. I picked up more than 2 things, that's a lie. I actually picked up an A6 because I've been wanting to try Stationery. So I'm using the B6, but I think I'm gonna put this inside a folio that I have and leave it at work and try using it at work. We'll see how it goes. Or I may wait till this is over and then start using this at the beginning of the year and making this a daily sketch or daily journal. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting inside that. I just picked that up because it's not too often you find that inside Kinokuniya. I've only seen one other time. I really wish they'd had the B6, but they didn't. And then these adorable, I love things with cats. My last name is Gato, and that actually means cat in Spanish. So there's all these cute little kind of washies. These are some individuals here, little paw prints and little cat faces. This one is more like a whole roll. This one is individual little cats and things. And this one is like a almost Hello Kitty type of thing in the top. It's a solid one as well. So, like I said, I'm not swatching today. We're just going through it because it's going to be long enough video as it is. So there's that. So I got that at Kinokuniya. And this is so funny that I got this. Okay, we're going to open it up. Oh, I think I need, oh no, I got it with my fingernail. Oh, go me. This is like a little cat that sits on a ledge. And this is like, they do this thing where they're like, okay, I don't know if this is the, I don't know if, I keep showing it to you like as if, okay, I don't know if this is the cat that's going to be in here. There's 6 different cats that you can get. And it's like a surprise. So it's like, that's like their way of trying to get you like to keep buying them. So you're going to try to collect all 6. But I have a really specific reason why I wanted this. They sure do make it tough to open. Okay, so we're going to see which one I got. Okay. Is it really him? Oh, it is. It is this one. Oh, it's a little white kitty cat. Okay, okay. Oh goodness. Let's get them out. I don't know if that's coincidental or not. So they just sit like that. So hold on. Okay, I'm back. So I have this little chair that's a Limoges, and it's actually where I keep a really expensive piece of jewelry. This is a heart, an almost 2-carat heart-shaped diamond ring. That was my engagement ring. And it used to be a little kitty cat that sat on top of this chair, and he got lost. And when I was in France, I wanted to buy a little kitty cat to sit on the chair, and it was so expensive. I was like, what? No, thank you. But now look. That's too classic. I love it. I gotta leave it out here. I gotta show it to my partner. Okay. I gotta leave the kitty cat here. I know I'm silly, but I just love it. I love it. Okay, okay. So I got that. And it was only $4.60 instead of like $35 or $50. It was this little tiny glass blown kitty cat. They wanted like, I don't know, something crazy like $35 or $50. They're like, but it's hand blown glass. And I'm like, oh no, thank you. That's just too much for, it was just tiny. It was like the size of a little bit bigger than my thumbnail. It wasn't even just like this. It was tiny. And it was $35. Okay. So, what else? Okay, we're getting down to it. I'm gonna get the rest of the Kinokuniya stuff. Here we go. So while I was in Kinokuniya, I also got these kitty cat stickers because if you've ever seen, I do just randomly, I throw in little kitty cat things into my stuff. My last name is Gato, it means cat, so, you know, but I got to. And then this I thought was so cute. This, I don't know, I have like 4 different Mandarin teachers at the school that I work at. I got to ask one of them, what is going on with this here? This is obvious, it's the date, AM, and then the time. I guess you put the name and then the message here, but there's this little space that is almost like in the United States we use for area code, but it has a character, and I don't know what that's about. But these are little sticky memo pads, and yeah, it's a telephone, an old-fashioned rotary phone. So I like that. I'm like definitely be using that. And I love me some kitty cats. So I got that. Just because I was sad and I needed to make myself feel happier. So then I went to Michael's, and some of the things I got at Michael's were these Tombos, and I just picked up some stationery stuff at Michael's. These are rub-on sheets from Tim Holtz, the very vintagey like, and these are rub-on sheets. These were on clearance, so I picked them up. I like to rub those on and use them. You could see in some of my other videos where I do that, where I use that. These, I love these. I don't know who this Chrissy Ann is, but I like her things. I was like, oh, I could see myself using these, because sometimes you just feel a little tired, or time is a little bit pressing and you don't have time to put into all of the sketching and drawing and watercoloring, but you still want to maybe play in your journal and have fun. And it's okay to use stickers. I use all different kinds of stickers. So these are fun, very lighthearted, and these are things that I would look, coffee date, all these different types of coffee cups, lunch date, little drink, like cocktail drinks, happy hour, little journal books, wine glasses, a thing that says treat yourself. So there's 5 different types of sheets. One sheet is all just faces with like emotions, and one sheet is all like weather. I can't imagine myself ever being so pressed for time that I can't draw the weather. But you know what? The stickers are in there, and I'm sure that I will use them because I have no problem using stickers when I feel a little tired, but I still want to have fun and relax and play in my journal. Then I picked this up because I've seen this a number of times and I've been drawn to it repeatedly. And since they had this whole sale thing going on, I was like, you know, I'm gonna just grab that and treat myself to it. And I could see myself definitely using this. It has like loving this, watching, eating, who, what, when, where. Even though I could write those things for sure, I think it's something like with this loving this and the watching and eating and happy day. Just the little things were little things that I could see myself having fun with my little ink pads and stamping, because I like stamping. I do. I enjoy stamping. Everything doesn't have to be watercolors and doodling. You know, it's just so many ways to enjoy yourself, and you just have to let yourself just go with the flow. There's no right way to art. As a matter of fact, look, so I found all these little stickers, and there are cocktail drinks, all types of beverages. And I like to have my adult beverages, and I like to write down and keep a little track to make sure I don't have more than 2. Usually I have it on the weekends. Like now, I'm gonna have myself a little margarita in a bit. I got a bunch of washi tapes, and part of my partner is so good. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. Here we go. Why I said that random thing is because my partner, when we go, first of all, the fact that she suffers through going into Michael's with me is amazing. Because that can be something for somebody who's not an artsy craftsy person necessarily. So you see all these little ones that they're thinner. So sometimes my partner will put their hands out like this and just hold on to all of the little individual washies, or this one's happened to be in these little things. But when I get them from that loose bin, or if I just find 1 or 2 something that I like, my partner holds her hands out like this so that can be my little washi holder, so I can keep digging through the 33-cent, the impulse bin. And or if we're over in the aisles, that my partner will hold on to stuff for me. So I had finally today confessed to my partner what happened, how I left all my things on the platform. So my partner came with me, and we picked up these 2. One is the music and the film, and we picked up all of these ones here. I like these little thin ones, and part of the reason why is because in this B6 I could see that maybe the bigger, fatter type ones might be a little bit tight in there, so I wanted to try to pick up some thinner options. And also because I think I could use this on my cello for marking my fingers. I want to put my finger markings back down with a pretty tape. I don't think I'm going to keep all of my finger markings on my cello, but I'm going to keep probably 1st, 3rd, and 4th, and I'm probably going to get rid of 2nd finger position. And then the last thing, and I got this at Kinokuniya, this is by something called Maptote. And yeah, this is, oh, get back there. I need to name my little kitty cat. I think I need to give it a name. It's by Maptote, and I'll put a link to them down. They have a lot of really nice stuff, and I like this one. I just felt it was the perfect size. I know it was overflowing, that's because I jammed everything in it, but it's just like the perfect size for holding my little journal and for holding my pencil cases. You see how it's just right. It's just right. It's just good, just right. I like it. So I have a lot of things to play with now. You know, I'm gonna get over my trauma of having left things on the platform. You know, I'm just hoping that maybe this will be my lucky day and that someone will return it, because I cannot buy my little sketchbook from France, and I don't know if you, I don't know, I don't think I've ever talked about this, about going to France before, but it's something I wanted to do since I was 17 years old. And um, I, I almost had a chance to when I was 18. I was in Europe, but there were some things going on in the world with politics, and I wasn't able to get a visa to go in there, which Americans don't usually need visas. And then I just got busy having children and marriage and life and work, career, and I never made it there until just this last year. And so it was really a dream for me to be able to be there and to be sketching those places where I was at. So I'm hoping that it shows back up. But if it doesn't, I do have those other little memories and treasures of sketches that I made, like that little one I showed you in here, my little Notre Dame. But that wasn't done there. But I have other ones that I did while I was there, and I do have photos of me actually sitting and sketching. My partner took pictures of me while I was sitting and sketching. So we'll do this. Oh no, I keep knocking my little kitty down. So we'll do this another time. And I'm sorry this is such a mess. But that is it. That is my stationery haul for now. And I hope you enjoyed seeing some of those things, and I will try to swatch them out. I'll swatch out all of my washies. Maybe that could be another video. If you're interested in that, let me know. If you're interested in me swatching out some of my pens, I could do that as well. So you could tell me, have you ever had something like that happen where you lost all of your stationery supplies? And what did you do? Did you go on a shopping spree too? I felt very lucky and fortunate that I am in a position where I'm able to try to repurchase my things. So I feel very lucky for that. You know, I haven't always had the same income I have now, so I feel very fortunate. Okay, well, thanks for watching, for staying with me.